Brodes Media.
I don't think Nick Sirianni deserves to come back. He lost the locker room, and you may lose football games, and you might not have a ton of talent defensively, but when the entire team no longer thinks that the guy in charge has what it takes, you can't gain that respect back. Unfortunately, not as a person, okay? I'm sure that they love Nick Sirianni deep down as a guy, the man he is, his core values outside of the game of football. But in regards to being a head coach, being a leader of men, getting them over the hump and winning again, once you lose that respect, it is so damn hard to dig yourself out of that. I don't believe Nick Sirianni has what it takes. Therefore, you might need to have a very tough conversation if you are Howie Roseman and Jeffrey Lurie. And if it goes as bad as it has been against Arizona, against the New York Giants, if that's what it looks like against Baker Mayfield, who just needed a W so damn badly, so they pop off for a magical 9-0 win. If you lose to that team, I'm sorry. It is unacceptable if you can't get any sort of offense going. Brian Baldinger broke it down. These blitzes. The Giants do one thing. You know, and by the way, they're no longer bringing back that defensive coordinator. And yeah, there would be some sort of value in a mind like that, being able to push buttons for the defense here in Philadelphia. And I'm talking once Matt Patricia and Sean Desai get kicked to the curb and the entire season's over. Man, I would love maybe if we got our hands on that. And it just gives a good veteran, intense, very logical, very detailed, very structured, identity-filled defense, and one, historically speaking, under him that would actually connect with the city of Philly. I think fans would love Wink and what he does. But yeah, I'm sorry that Nick Sirianni, he's lost control. And if there's one game left of the regular season heading into a postseason run, and the message from the skill position team, A.J. Brown specifically, is it's time to start believing in him. That's bad. That is a bad sign, and it raises my eyebrows big time. This team, one of the reasons why I always felt that they had a chance to stay involved, it's quite simple. It's your veteran leadership. Lane Johnson, Jason Kelsey, Brandon Graham, guys who have been around the block for a long period of time. They've seen it all. They've been through the grind. They've seen a lot of different coaches and a lot of different styles to it. If it's going to even break them, you know that they have no idea what they're doing. His offensive philosophy is stupid. There's zero awareness in what the other team is doing. When was the last time that you knew a team was bad in an area on the field, and then all week long you could tell the coaching staff put together a game plan to expose those deficiencies? I'll tell you for free, it hasn't happened. For example, let's say a team struggles against a running back who can catch out of the backfield. You don't see a game where DeAndre Swift gets 100 yards receiving and 2 touchdowns, and you expose them the way that teams look in the middle of the field for us. And here's Hassan Reddick dropping back into coverage to start the football game off. What type of tone is that? How about Hargrave's comments? All right, he's speaking about the difference in culture in San Francisco and compared it basically to Pat Riley, the Miami Heat. They have a certain way about their structure. All right, you go to Miami, you know it's their way, or get your ass out of town. You're not going to fit. It won't fly. You got to be so damn dedicated and so damn willing to pour your blood on that court for the Miami Heat logo. And then I guess the Eagles are just country club material, where they're sitting back with all these Vineyard Vine style long sleeve button ups with preppy salmon shorts, and maybe they wear boat shoes, they're wearing Sperry's, and they're kicking back and barely practicing, not putting in the work ethic. Well, it doesn't surprise me that I'm hearing that from Hargrave. You got to go to war every day at practice. They are bringing the intensity, and if you go back to what happened here in South Philadelphia when San Fran came to town, I think that beatdown describes it pretty easily. No, you wouldn't even have to tell me that. I just saw the tape. I saw the 4 quarters, and I saw how much they bent you over and pounded you into the dirt. So I don't need any other information. I watched the stupid one-on-one battle, and it disgusts me that it happened the way that it did. There's no way you are 10-1 and you're in prime position to have the division win. And that's why when I hear Dallas Goedert speak after the game, it makes my blood boil. Because in what universe does a head coach who knows what he's doing allows this to happen? If it does happen, I'm going to push back on Goedert, but just hear me out. Maybe we've been on cruise control a little bit, which is never something you want to say or want a team to do. But I know this team is going to be rolling and ready to go next week. I'm not buying into that. You got to prove it to me. You think I'm a fool? All right. You think I'm dumb? You think I'm stupid? There's no way that I'm putting any sort of emotional cash down on the Eagles going to Tampa and winning, no matter what the line tells me. And the line actually is making me believe for a half a second that maybe they do win this game. Doesn't mean it's pretty. Doesn't mean it's because they're finally playing smooth football. It's because I don't think it takes smooth football to beat this version of Tampa Bay. You know, even though we got some banged up pieces to the roster, and it seems like possibly we're in a good spot here with Jalen Hurts compared to the alternative with the finger in regards to a fracture, no fracture, it's still going to bother him. It's still going to be extremely difficult to twist that football out of the fingertips nicely with a spiral. But if you're out there, damn it, there's only one way that I hold you accountable, and that's by executing and making this offense look like it knows what it's doing. It was unreal. You have a chance to win the division. So if you have a group of men that don't feel like showing up and think that they're already written into the dance so they don't have to bring it anymore, then you're not doing your job as a leader of men to get them to buy in, even though you already clinched your spot in the postseason. There's still many things at the cost here, right? At the time, you're 10-1. Go get the number 1 seed. That can't slip away. That could be the difference in winning a Super Bowl or not. And then week 18 probably plays out differently too, where AJ isn't battling an injury and you don't lose Sidney Brown and Jalen Hurts' finger isn't damaged. So all of that is a big reason. It's because you put yourself in this predicament that you let the awesome, phenomenal NFC record go away. But the reason why I don't even believe that's the case, to take a little off of Nick Sirianni, I guess, is very noticeable to me. I saw the look on Sirianni too. I haven't seen it until the press conference that happened today, Monday, on the day after presser. It had a very Doug Peterson-like view to me. He tried to be sly, and I don't like this move out of Nick. All right, he wore a visor that had the Super Bowl on the side of it. The Super Bowl. Come on, Nick. I think that was listen up. You see this patch on the side of the visor? Remember, I've been to the bowl before. Okay, Nick. You've also been at the bottom of the mountain. You also been at the top of the mountain and then fell so damn quickly. You're lucky to have your job right now.